Hello and welcome to another GA flying video. Today we are in Alaska, like in the first videos, once again with the CowanSim. Let me just show our route for today. So we will be starting in Petersburg and going to Wrangell, so a very short route. We will be mostly using hand flying, and the main topic of this video will be the free head tracking applications that I will be using, and in this case it will be OpenTrack and AITracker. Let me just get inside the helicopter. Okay. Both of those are totally free, like I guess you can see in the title of the video. And the idea for them is actually not my own idea, but I have found it on YouTube. Let me just show you the video that I will be also referencing in the description. It's on this one from Honosuseri, I guess. And there are two videos on his channel. One is just general info, and the next one is calibrating the details, the detailed settings for it to be as smooth as possible. So when it comes to those two head tracking apps, I have done a couple of flights already with them. I still don't think that I have calibrated them perfectly. So what you see now might not be the best result that you can get, right? It also depends on where you have your camera, where you're sitting, how the room looks like. In this case, I do have a normal cheap webcam that is on the top of my monitor, and I'm sitting half a meter away, I guess, from it. Let me just show you the applications, how they look like. So we have this one and this one. Both of those have a lot of options, and pretty much everything is displayed in the videos that I will be referencing, right? One thing that I'm still working on are those curves, right? And we will see, maybe after today's flight I will have some new ideas for them. It's also important how you sit in your seat, right? So I always need to remember the exact place where it's working the best. Okay. Let me just move this out of the way, make sure that everything is started. Okay. So this is on max, this is on max. We do have our route here. This is fine. We will fly on SAS today, apart from a short moment when I will want to show you how radar altitude works, because this is something that we have not done yet. It's kind of a simplified hover mode, I guess. It's helping a little bit with hovering, but can be also a trap. And from what I know, at least from the MH60 videos, this radar altitude hold is often used when flying long distances above the sea, especially in low visibility conditions, just because then the eye can get fooled with how close the water is, right? If this is true, I'm not sure if this is a general knowledge or was only mentioned by the real pilot for a specific situation. It's hard to say. That saying, I don't really see many additional uses for it. When it comes to velocity hold, this was discussed by the real pilot on the Discord, that it's, for example, when you want to keep pace with a boat that is moving, right? And if you want to adjust the speed to the speed of the boat. And here he has also shown a nice short video that you can find on Discord. I didn't find much use for it now. And I also saw a post where somebody was saying that in the current patch, velocity hold is bugged. Sadly, I didn't have the opportunity to test it yet. So maybe for a future video. For today, only radar altitude. Okay. And with this, I see generator, okay, recycled. I think we can start. Not a long flight. Okay. Oh, that's some interesting vibration still. We will use it. Oh, probably because of this curve here, right? It's not really designed for being used with an HSI. Okay, Let's take a look outside. So we only have 2 passengers today, so we should be pretty light. So we will do like a vertical takeoff. I'm always trying to say virtual takeoff. Okay, no virtual takeoffs today. Maybe before we start, let me show you how the head tracking works when we are on the ground. So I have it bound to a button on my joystick, right? So I always have it in my hand when flying. Okay, should be on, and I'm now looking around, right? And I'm looking around. Okay. I'm just going back, and I can also lean forward, although not much, because like to show you when I'm too close to the camera, it kind of goes crazy, right? But it will depend on how close you have the camera to you. Okay, so let me just check if we are ready. Okay, parking brake for vertical, not virtual takeoff. Okay, and let's start. Let me make sure I have the standard position. I guess now with head tracking, I might adjust my standard position in this aircraft, right, in this helicopter, because I'm a little bit higher, because without head tracking, I couldn't really see where I land, right? But now when I like have head tracking, I might just lower it so it's more neutral, okay, because now I'm kind of looking down. Okay, still. Let's fly. Okay, hovering, kind of checking how much power we have. Okay, a little bit. Do we have the wind already? No. Okay, so let's just turn and get out of here, right? Trying not to fly into the mountain, but we will enable head tracking in a second, so this should help. Okay, I don't need the gear anymore. Okay, and I think I can enable head tracking now. Okay, we are pushing the engines a little bit, but the helicopter also accelerates really, really fast. Right, so the strain on the engines is pretty big. Okay, let me just take a look. Oh, ship, that's nice. Okay. Okay, and let's also lean here. It's fine. This time we are flying without gear down, okay, so we are hearing this horn from time to time. And as you can see, it works. It's a little bit jumpy, right? But I think this is because I still haven't found like the optimal settings, because like in the past it was less jumpy than now, right? So I might have messed something up with the last adjustments. That's saying it's for free, right? If you have any webcam, it's for free, and I guess most people do. So it's for sure worth checking out. If you are just holding on the purchase of like Toby or something, or like Track AR, this is great to just check for you if it's even worth it. The main problem that I have with it now is simply that my neck hurts, right? Because I'm not used to the movement that you pretty much have to do while playing a game, right? Running the simulator. Okay, let us join maybe the river. This might look nice. Okay, if you hear the gear horn a lot, there is an option to silence it. I will just show you in a second once we are out of the terrain. Okay, trim, 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 trim. Okay, so we are overspeeding. Let me just get rid of some of the speed. Let's make sure we are not flying into anything. We are not, so let's go on this one. Okay, this will not help with the overspeed, but it's fun. Still need to get used to it, because actually like very smooth movements are possible with this one. It's pretty good at tracking. It's just that, as I said, my like head is not used to those movements, so when I suddenly see something, that I'm also doing like a sudden movement. Okay, let me now go down here. Okay, let me make sure we are kind of centered, so we don't crash into the water. Okay. And I will just show you how to silence the horn. But for this, let me just reset the view. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. And the horn is pretty much here. Whoop. Okay, I think I got it. I'm not sure if there's a binding for it, but if you want to often fly close like to the ground, then it would be a good idea to check it out, right? Okay, let me just center here. Okay, I'm not sure, but like sometimes when I'm using the head tracking, I think something strange happens with the radar input. I don't know why. I might review all of my bindings, because maybe it's like once again something like with a conflict of an assignment that MSFS has done for me, right? Okay, so we are getting slower, so let's just accelerate at power. Okay. We are pushing the helicopter pretty hard. But as long as you kind of know when it will block you, then you can like risk a lot, right? You can use all of the performance here. We are already at maximum speed. It's like very fast to accelerate, so you don't even notice when you are very close to the limits, right? As you can see, all of the bars, the green bars, are pretty much close to the limit, despite it seeing like we didn't really like accelerate much, right? So I would just assume that like a professional pilot of the S76 would just know when it's close, right? And what they can really do. In this case, as we are so fast, we don't have much like power left for like sudden adjustments. So this is also why we are reaching those limits. Okay. Let me just get rid of some speed. Okay. Back to head tracking. it doesn't feel like 140 knots, right? So it still feels like we are flying slowly, but for a helicopter, this is already very, very fast, right? And also when it comes to the strain on the engines. I was hoping to show you the hover mode when we would be close to like a city, like a small town or something, but I might have missed it, right? I might have taken the wrong turn somewhere. Okay, let's just slow down. Overspeeding once again. It's very easy to get too excited, like with this one. Okay, no longer overspeeding, and let's just proceed. Maybe if we don't find like a nice object on the way, or this hover thingy, then I will just do it over the destination airport. Okay, let me just see if we are not flying into a mountain. Almost not. Okay, this is nice, and let's just proceed. Okay. Maybe it would work better if I would be sitting like a longer distance away from it, because when I was checking it, when I was like moving back with my seat, it seemed to be like a little bit more smooth then. So a lot of stuff to test it out. As I said, for me it's just like free flights pretty much. Okay, so let's go back to the water. Okay, so a lot of overspeeding here. I'll just reduce the speed a lot. Too exciting. Okay, and now let's proceed. And this also comes from us having like only 2 people in the back. This is the VIP cabin. Let me just freeze head tracking, show you. Here with the full volume, this is how I like hear it. Okay, let's go back. Okay, visibility, please. It's important to remember to not turn it on when like your view is not in the standard view, because then it will move the standard view, right, to the new settings. I could see that there was also some advanced settings that allow you to move like the standard view in this like application for head tracking, but I haven't used them now. So whenever I want to like turn it on, I for safety move back like to my standard view in the cockpit. Okay, let me just enable it. Now it's fine. This is difficult water to like fly above because you cannot see the structure of it, right? So it's hard to say how close you are to it. At least we do have this radio altimeter, right? Some great views here. Okay, and let's go back to our heading. So those 2 cities are like part of the famous Milk Run in Alaska, where like 737s, so like normal modern 737s, 700s are, I'm not sure if every day, but like frequently crossing the distances between those 2, well, not 2, like a couple of small airports, right? It's a pretty challenging run because it's a lot of landings on one day, and also not all of those runways are long. I do have like a custom pack for those runways. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is really like dangerous water because you cannot see at all how high you are. So I'm always looking at this altimeter below. Okay. And we are pretty much at the speed limit, like 150 knots, and it doesn't feel like we are moving fast at all, right? So it's easy to get like a false sense of security in this case. This seems to be the shorter way around, so let's take this one. And now the helicopter is having like even more inertia, like at the moment, because we're pretty much going full speed, right? So it's important to remember that this is not the like 500 from PAWGs. That is pretty much flying like a magical carpet, right? You can turn on like on the spot. So here you need to watch out. Okay, head tracking. There are still phases of flight where I prefer to not have it, right? Because I feel more secure and I'm used to not having it. But I guess I will just adjust with time, right? I guess maybe I should have like set waves to ultra because as I said, pretty much it might be the light now, right? That any structure is missing on the water. Okay, and we are getting close to our destination. Okay, let me turn it off for now. And I can already see the runway. Like now it's pretty much in the center. There is a town close to it, so let's just fly to the town, so I will show you stuff. Just see. Okay. Let me just lose some speed and some height. Yeah, we have some wind from the right, from what I can see. So it will push us into the city. Okay. Let me lose some more. Ear horn, 200 meters. Okay, so let's not lose much more. Okay. And we are pretty much as slow as we need to. Okay. So let me just show what I wanted you to see. Let's just adjust a little bit. We want to be very slow. Okay. Let me just turn on ATT. Okay. And now radar altitude. Okay. Okay, and we are pretty much hovering here. Well, we have a little bit too much speed, so let me just, as we are in ATT, let me just adjust with the trim, right? It should come to a halt. Yeah. I think I activated it having like too much speed still, so let me just deactivate it. Okay, and let me just adjust a little bit. Okay, Oh, and now we can turn, because I want to do it over the city. Okay. Let's not settle down. Okay. Okay, the wind is not helping. Could be easier without wind, but we can still do it. Okay. Okay. Now it seems kind of stable, I think. So radar altitude. Now let me make it darker for you guys, so you can see what I'm trying to show. Okay. Okay, hey, I want to show you this thingy. Right. And also moving it to the sides, pretty much. This way you can play around with it. You can pretend like you are the police, right? And it should keep the altitude here. Okay. Actually, when I was testing it before, I was able to bring it to a nice hold, right? And then the altitude hold was really allowing you to hover like in, well, in a very precise way, right? Flying around buildings, like illuminating everything. I guess I have a problem with like doing precise stuff on camera, so this might be me. But for you guys, I really recommend like to try it out. It's pretty cool, especially if you like those like special ops. In this case, this was also like a police helicopter, so you can do those missions. As far as I know, it's also like it's also compatible with the mission hub from Militech, so you can create your own like missions and fly them with the CowanSim. Okay, now I do want some light. Okay. Sadly, there is no like proper hover function like on the MH60. Let me just see if I haven't messed anything up. Yeah, no. So you cannot really come to like a total hold like there. I think it's in the MH60, what they have simulated is like one of the crewmen members in the back, right, keeping it even. So it's not just like a system in the aircraft. I think maybe there is also a system. Either way, some nice sea traffic around here. I'm just wondering if it's like from the sim or if it's from the airport, right? Okay. Yeah. Let's just go down, gear down. Okay. We don't want to go down too fast. Okay. We don't want any like vortex state here, so let's just reduce it. Yeah, it's like probably like much easier. Okay. I just wanted to say like to control it if you have like a proper collective, right? For me, the jump between like being even and going down with a lot of vertical speed is like very small, right? Okay. And we will just move here. We are still on SAS, right? So no ATT fun. I'm just glad that there is like no vortex simulated here, because otherwise it might be a problem. Okay. And I also saw it like on a video from, I think, JD, right? That for him, those jumps were also pretty high. And I think he does own like a collective, right? Okay. So I'm always like taking a look at the vertical speed, if it's not getting too high, right? The like in minus. Okay. Now let's pretend that we know how to land a helicopter and just land it here. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay, and now I guess we can hover taxi. Oh, this seems to be like uneven. It seems to be rolling down to the sea. Okay. Okay, so kind of landed where we wanted to land. And let's just do, yeah, hover taxi, I guess. Yeah. So as I said before, right, I was also doing hover taxi like relatively fast, but I've watched some like professional helicopter tutorials, and they said that this should be like walking speed, which is actually would be much harder for me, at least with those big jumps, right, and the vertical speed that I have with my like collective slider. Guess this might be walking speed. Maybe. Yeah, fast walking speed, I guess. Okay. Yeah, maybe. And we can see the Alaska Airlines building ahead of us, right? So this is where the 737s are landing. Okay, so I don't think there is like a helicopter pad here. So let's just find anything that might be of use. Here you can see the trace like on the ground, right? The markings for the helicopters. So we picked up a little bit of speed. Okay. But let's just taxi it now somewhere. Okay, we can, let me just make sure I have it correctly bound. Okay, and we can look around, right? Oh, okay, now I understand. No taxing on the handbrake, right? So after we come to a stop, I will show you like my settings of those two applications that that I'm showing you now, right? Well, so let's just do it here. Okay, now we can use it. And let's just turn the throttle down. And welcome to Wrangell. Okay, so let me show you the stuff here. So my options, I have bound pretty much everything that I need to one button. So whenever I'm pressing this button right on the joystick, I'm toggling it on and off, I'm centering it, and I'm zeroing it. I'm not sure what the difference between zero and center is, but when I'm using it, I was assuming like it should be the same, right? But the effect is better if I'm using keep looking for it. I'm not sure. It works better. Like zeros on my standard view better than with just center. But you can also like experiment around with this one. I can just make the same, turning the volume down. Okay. And let's go back to this here. There was also something that I wanted you to know. Just see. Oh, yeah, I know. In the tutorial, it's telling you that you have to set up like your own settings. But when I was downloading it, there was already like a setting for MSFS included. That for me was pretty nice. I just had to do like slight adjustments. Actually, it might have been better than what I have now because I was experimenting a lot and I'm not happy with all of the settings, right? So you don't really need to set it up like it was explained in the video. Okay. And with this, thank you for flying it with us, and I see you in the next video from GA Flying. Thank you very much.